All right, so my name is Dakota Brown. I'm the founder of Runster. We specialize in virtual and in-person events. We also have a mobile app available for iOS and Android, which rewards users for completing certain cardio metrics. Um, so yeah, we're a four-person team. We have a founder, business development manager, a sales specialist, junior dev. This year, we've already had two events with over 100 participants. We have another one coming up on March 15th at Haynes Point in DC. So as a founder, one of my biggest constraints, it isn't ideas, it's been pretty much maintaining a vibe-coded project. I'm sure many of you might relate to that. Recent improvements in models and harnesses have been a game changer, but I still find myself spending valuable agentic engineering hours on bugs rather than rather than bigger features and things that I would like to experiment with. So today I'm going to show you a simple single agent architecture I've built to handle the coding tasks. And if you haven't already guessed, the agent that I'm using is OpenClaw based. So our single agent system, it's comprised of 24 cron jobs, an Obsidian memory system, hardwired custom skills, a self-improvement loop, and a narrow singular task focus. Now, in regards to the 24 jobs, I decided to have this run on an hourly basis. So every hour it completes an audit or a PR attempt, or it goes through one of the four utility lanes. I'll be going through that in just a moment. I'm managing memory through Obsidian, pretty much just because I'm familiar with it. It's a pretty popular, well-known, and agent recommended, I suppose. We have hardwire skills that are pretty much we're using as reliability rails. In the self-improvement loop, it's from, it was really inspired by auto research. And so I'll be going into that as well. And I think the narrow singular task focus really helps. A lot of people with their OpenClaw agents, they have it doing things like changing the heat of their bed, turning their lights on and off. They're using it for more broad use cases. But I've found a lot more I found it a lot more useful as a junior dev and as a coding partner. My OpenClaw agent, his name is Larry. He works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The first 10 hours are audits. The next 10 are PR drafts. Every run has a strict result format so that we always know what happens. He writes comprehensive notes and proof files into Obsidian. He collects bug reports from Noster, and he feeds that into the queue daily. So if users are experiencing a bug on Noster, he can detect what's going on and use it to help with the next PRs. And at the end of the day, Larry posts a scoreboard, a next day plan, and the idea is to have Larry constantly learn and grow in order to create better output. Again, so we chose 24 cron jobs because I wanted this thing running all day, 10 sensing lanes, 10 action lanes, 4 intelligent lanes, to create a stable rhythm with broad coverage without requiring a bunch of multi-agent orchestration layers. The 10 audits and why we chose them. We chose a code audit, a design audit, a performance audit, security, health, simplification, docs, test plan, roadmap, and stats. Now, I guess if anyone were to try reproducing our architecture, we actually have a GitHub that we spun up, single agent architecture. So you can come here and if you wanted to use the code, modify the code, use it as a reference, you'd be able to create your own 24/7 code assistant. Right now we have me as like the final reviewer. So Larry isn't actually merging anything into the code. I decided to, well, I wanted to make that choice because I still wanted to stay in the loop. I didn't really want to close it off. I wanted to have the last thoughts and sort of go in that direction. And so, yep, the code audit, it catches logic defects. The design audit focuses around UI, but also the big architecture. Performance audit, it protects user experience, mainly focused on UX. The security audit, it touches things that we're doing in Supabase. The health audit, it catches runtime reliability. The simplification audit, that's more of a refactoring audit. Docs, self-explanatory. Test plan improves the test scripts and makes sure that we have all of our scripts still up to date. The roadmap audit, that makes sure that we're still pointed towards our North Star and what we would like to achieve in the code. And the stats audit, that does a little bit of pulling or researching what the sort of overall vibe of the project is on Noster and things similar to that. And the four non-PR audit jobs are the signal intake, the learning and memory consolidation, the recovery and rerun, and the daily closeout plan. We're really loading up Obsidian with what we're doing in creating comprehensive notes. What I'll have to do is to have a better way of consolidating all of the notes that we're putting into Obsidian. But I know a lot of people have talked about memory being a huge problem with OpenClaw, but with our singular focus and our like hardwired skills and the Obsidian backend, we haven't experienced many problems with memory at all. Like I said before, it might just be a case where some of the use cases, some of the OpenClaw enthusiasts have been exploring have been extremely broad. But what I've been able to do with Obsidian and the singular focus and our learning system, it's been really able to take care of that. So a little bit about how our memory works. We use explicit memory, not implicit model memory. So we have hourly notes, status files, and run proofs. In Obsidian, we have a scorecard, and we have keep, discard, rules MD, notes, daily logs, audits, closeouts, weekly consolidations, and every week we try to roll up what we've learned and save it towards long-term retention. And the hardwired skills that we have a routing watchdog, scorecard, quality assurance validator, legacy cron job gardener, pull release, domain classifier, and an audit boundary enforcer. We really took a look at what Andre Karpathy was doing with his auto research project. This was a way of automating research tasks. And so what we've done is we've taken inspiration from that in order to update what we were doing with our system to improve its learning. Again, staying to a small scope, each cron running fixed time limits with clear pass and fail outcomes, keeping consistent logs, and treating instructions like code. And so it's our hope that by implementing this, we can really enhance our self-learning system in order to just improve Larry and improve the quality of his work. And as I had mentioned before, keeping the human in the loop and sort of my thesis on portability. I think when I say harness, I speak to things like Claude Code. I speak to things like Codex, Cursor. I think all of these things will change over time. I'd honestly be surprised if I was still using the same harness after a year or even after 6 months. Um, and so the context that I'm saving in Obsidian, I'm hoping will be portable. I'm hoping that the architecture that I'm building with this single agent system will prove to be useful in other systems as well. So yep, you can check out the single agent architecture at my repo shown there. The repo also includes prompts that we've used, lane contracts, skills, and documentation on the architecture. So yeah, but I'm not trying to remove myself from the process. I'm not really trying to create a fully automated business that runs itself. I run a second pass review workflow in Claude Code that analyzes open PRs, summarizes what matters, and helps me decide on which bugs and maintenance tasks should be merged. And that's pretty much my direction with that. Originally, my talk was going to be about the perils of creating a system that was overly complex. I've seen like things like Gastown, things like people creating almost like a Sims sort of experience with their agents talking to each other back and forth. I think maybe it would work for some use cases, but I think a lot of us might do best with taking a more simplified approach. And that's my talk for today. Questions?
So the next event was in DC, or were previous events?
We had two virtual events. One of them was in coordination with the Running Bitcoin Challenge, the Run for How. We've been working closely with the ALS network, and they're going to be a part of the next event that we run as well. And we had another virtual event. We mostly do virtual events. So this one coming up in Haynes Point, that'll be our first in-person event. And that's in coordination with PubKey DC and Bitcoin District. We're going to have a post-race event at PubKey DC with Ainsley Costello, and there's going to be a live podcast and things like that. And so we're hoping to branch out a little bit more into the in-person events, but we've had some pretty good success with the virtual. Yes.
Yeah, I see that. So you're not removing yourself from the process intentionally. But the question is, I consider it such thing in the future when the models evolves, then AI replaces everyone. Do you consider just an auto-merge in pairs?
I mean, I could see that being a direction that things take, but I still like having a lot of like creative control over the process. I see it as being almost like my art project. And you know, I know people are creating like 24/7, like I guess like quote unquote AI slot factory sort of things, and yeah, I'd still want to keep like that human ingenuity piece in the loop. I'm not sure if I'd be able to compete with, you know, the future of autonomous businesses, you know, just from like a human bandwidth sort of scale. But I'd love to explore what pieces, you know, like what pieces I'd still be able to plug myself into the system. And so yeah, that's what I think about that. Yes.
When you are reviewing those PRs, do you feel like they are like, how on point are they with your system? Do you feel like they go off the rails still a certain percentage, or do you have it pretty much solved? Or
It's pretty spot on. I think there is like some dead code that I have in the project, but I think over time it'll learn and get better in like in regards to like identifying that. But most of the PRs it pulls their spot on, and it's 10 PRs a day, and we have a scorecard that ranks which PRs are best, and if I end up merging more PRs on one topic, then it has an idea of it has like a recursive learning loop that sort of like understands like what PRs that I'm accepting versus which PRs I'm not accepting, and so they've been pretty spot on. Mostly like bug finding, documentation things, like problems in like UX design. I might have it, and I could always audit the audits to make them a little bit more, uh, maybe a little bit more like robust, or like looking at some or some of the bigger things that we want to implement. But it was pretty much my way of maintaining a vibe coded project. Uh, it's gone through a lot of different implementations. It started off like the project started off as a completely different name. It was a Runster Rewards at first, um, but I think I'm pretty hopeful in it being able to help me maintain the project. Yeah. Questions?
I'm curious if you've experimented with anything other than Claude Code.
So right now, Larry isn't using Claude Code. He is just going into the thing by himself. I'm using Claude Code as the reviewer, but I've used Open Agents. I was one of the first users. I'm the Wild Hustle. I'm one of the first users of Open Agents, I guess. I remember you gave me the $20. I won like the $20 thing off of Stacker News. But yeah, I've used Cursor. I've used VS Code with Rue Code. I've tried Codex a little bit, but I think, and there's also something like Droid Factory or something like that.
So Larry uses the Claude API, or what does Larry use?
Larry's using the chat or the OpenAI subscription. So Larry's using Codex. And so, yeah, Larry uses Codex pretty much because I was scared off of using Anthropic, because they said that they weren't like supporting like the subscription model for using OpenClaw and whatnot. And so we'll see how that goes. As far as like the subscription, I'd have to really see about like the API costs. Like not seeing, or knowing that the subscription isn't going to be around for long. I need to make sure that the system is optimized for like the API sort of route. I'm not sure if I would need to like switch to like a cheaper model, because it's not really like super advanced things that I'm asking it to do. Mainly just audit the code, and then based on the audits that it's based on the audits, like creating PRs, simple PRs for it. And so it's not rocket science, although I do have it on the highest thinking mode using Codex, but it gets the job done. All right. Thank you.